Welcome to the Purpose to Create podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Wright, business strategist, certified life coach, and founder of Purpose to Create. This is a space for purpose-driven creatives to clear the noise, fuel their creativity with resilience, and lean into their purpose. I share actionable strategies and insights to help you thrive, both personally and professionally. You know what's been living in my head rent-free this week? Doechie's song, Anxiety. That chorus is like she's been able to put words to what I've been feeling. That quiet struggle, feeling like something's lurking in the background, even when no one else can see it, but you can feel it. And if I'm being honest, that's exactly where I've been lately. Wrestling with my own anxiety and leaning on God to help me through it. In this season of anxiety, it just hits different. It feels like new territory that I haven't explored before. With my anxiety, I know how to deal with it. But when it's something new that I've never experienced before, I feel like a fish out of water. Like I can't catch my breath for nothing. Like it's just one thing. So I turned to one of my tried and true scriptures for some insight into this new season that I'm in. Philippians 4 verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. As I sat with this scripture, I thought about what it actually means to walk in faith when anxiety shows up. And I realized Jesus already prepared us for this. But when you're in it, it's hard to see how. When he sent his disciples out, he knew they'd face resistance, rejection, and fear. Yet he told them how to handle it. And here are 6 reminders that help me in this season of anxiety. Point 1. Being sent by Jesus comes with power and persecution. Jesus gave his disciples authority to heal, cast out demons, and preach, but he also warned them following him won't be easy. Point 2. Not everyone will receive you. Jesus said, if a town rejects you, shake the dust off your feet and move on. Rejection isn't a reflection of you, it's a reflection of their heart. Point 3. Persecution is part of the calling. Jesus told the disciples they would be hated, arrested, and even betrayed by family members. Does that sound familiar? Following Christ means choosing faithfulness over comfort. And I feel like in this season of anxiety, it is very uncomfortable. Point 4. Fear God, not people. Jesus said, don't fear those who can kill the body, but not the soul. Fear the one who has the power over both. People's opinions and threats don't hold eternal weight. God does. And especially in this season, this one hits close to home for me, especially when it comes to seeing the state of the world, especially when we talk about the political climate. We're so focused about what's going on around us that we probably haven't taken time to look up and to turn to God to see what he has to say about this. And ever since the beginning of the year, God has literally been having me at his feet, just really being still so I can listen and understand how to interpret the season that I'm in and how it affects me. And a lot of the things that are going on, I'm deeply impacted by them. And when I mentioned that this anxiety hits different, it's just different. And I don't know how to navigate this season. So I've been doing a lot of things that make me uncomfortable in order to get the clarity that I need to know how to deal with this. Point 5, God sees and values you. If he cares for sparrows, how much more does he care for you? Every detail of your life is known by him. And again, I'm reminded that every detail he cares about, even when it doesn't feel like it. He's already gone ahead and worked it out. He already knows. He's already equipped you. Point 6, there's no middle ground. Jesus said, whoever acknowledges me before others, I will acknowledge before my Father. But whoever denies me, I will deny. Faith isn't passive, it's a bold commitment. Following Jesus requires full surrender. He made it clear we can't love anything more than him, even family. The cross isn't just about salvation, it's about sacrifice. And when I really took a deep dive into the scripture, Philippians 4 verse 6, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. It really showed me the character of God and being able to understand how he wants us to navigate anxiousness. It helped me to understand how anxiety shows up in my life and the power and the weight that I give it when God had already told me, don't be anxious for nothing. If he cares for the sparrows, how much more does he care for me in every detail of my life? Like, God hasn't failed me yet. And so I have to lean back on what I know to be true about God in seasons of anxiety, especially when it shows up very heavy. And I feel like a lot of things are out of control. And if I'm being honest, anxiety for me feels like, I'm going to date myself here, but it's a song that goes, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the burn. And so for me, anxiety feels like that. It feels like the house is on fire and I feel like I have no control and I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just going to figure it out while I'm in the house while it's burning down. That's what anxiety feels like for me. Trying to do it all myself. And that is not how we're supposed to handle things. And we're not even supposed to worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. But yet here I am allowing anxious thoughts to consume me and let my physical eyes see what's going on. And I automatically get caught up in what I see versus what I know to be true. And so everything for me, everything I see is not true. Meaning, if I look at the state of affairs in the world and how it's impacting me and the people around me, I would take that what I see as like, oh my God, I am doomed. Personally, I am doomed. When that is not the case, because I have a God who provides for me despite what it looks like in the world. He's always going to provide for me. And I always have to remember that, like, I don't fear no man. So that's why I can't stay focused on what's going on and what it looks like, because I don't fear them and they don't have no power or control over me. And so I had to take my power back. I had to get back at Jesus' feet, had to make sure that I build back up my discipline of prayer and fasting so that I can hear clearly from God, so I know how I need to show up in this season. And I won't let anxiety control me based on what's going on around me. And I forgot for a second, just for a second, I forgot because I let fear take control where fear has no place. And so I had to take my power back in that. And here's the thing, anxiety isn't just a buzzword or something we casually throw around when we're feeling stressed. It's a real experience that can feel overwhelming, suffocating, and even isolating. Pop culture has captured this struggle in ways that make it clear we're not alone. Take Doechie's song Anxiety that I mentioned earlier. She sings, anxiety keep on trying me. I feel it quietly trying to silence me. My anxiety can't shake it off me. Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety. This right here, the way she broke it down, and definitely go listen to the song because she breaks it down even further. But this is just what I wanted to lean in on for this particular episode. This is exactly what anxiety does. It creeps in quietly, tries to silence you, make you feel like you're being watched and judged, even when no one is actually there, but it feels like it. We can't go by how it feels. It convinces you that you're not safe, not capable, and not enough. That's how we feel, but that's not what's true. We are safe, we are capable, and we are enough. This whole struggle with anxiety reminds me of something else too. Have you ever seen Inside Out 2 or in Inside Out 1? I enjoyed them both, but in that movie, there's a character who literally is anxiety. And what I love so much about the movie is how it really broke down the feelings and how we actually feel and brought it to life. And I was able to identify with it so much. And it's wild because they nailed exactly how anxiety operates. Overthinking, the constant need to predict every possible outcome, the feeling that if you don't control everything, something bad will happen. It's all there. It's like anxiety thinks it's protecting us, but in reality, it can take over and keep us from moving forward. And that's exactly what it does in real life. It convinces us that if we can just think about something enough, we can prevent bad things from happening. But that's not how it works. And here's what's wild. Science actually backs this up. I was doing a little bit of research on anxiety because, I'm no medical professional. I am just somebody who experiences it, who has been diagnosed with high functioning depression and anxiety. And I want to share my personal experience and how I navigate it and deal with it and how I lean on God to help me through it. And so I wanted to share just my perspective on it. By no means am I an expert on anxiety, but I just wanted to share my personal experience in hopes that it will help somebody else navigate their own. And so as I was researching it, because I wanted just to make sure that the points that I do talk about, that it was accurate. And I was actually reading this study by Cornell University that found that 85% of the things we worry about never happen. Even when worries do come true, 79% of participants handled it better than expected or learned something valuable. So basically, anxiety has us overthinking things that will likely never happen. And even when they do, we're more capable of handling it better than we think. This is why it's so important to recognize that anxiety is not your identity. It's something you experience, yes, but it's not who you are. So today we're going to talk about what anxiety actually is and what it's not, how anxiety shows up in our thoughts and bodies, and practical ways to calm your nervous system and regain control of your thoughts. According to the American Psychological Association, approximately 3.1% of adults in the United States experience generalized anxiety disorder in a given year. That might not sound like a big number, but when you think about the millions of people experiencing this daily, it becomes clear. If you struggle with anxiety, you're not alone. Anxiety can look like racing thoughts that won't slow down, feeling like something bad is about to happen even when nothing is wrong, overanalyzing everything you say or do, struggling to relax even in safe environments, and constantly worrying and constantly making up the worst case scenarios. Anxiety convinces us that we have to figure everything out on our own, but faith reminds us that we are not carrying this weight alone. For a long time, I didn't even realize what I was dealing with. I thought my constant overthinking, exhaustion, and need to push through everything was just part of my personality. But the truth is, I was struggling with something much deeper. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed with high functioning depression and anxiety that everything clicked for me. I actually had a trigger event happen. So basically, I was in an environment where I thought was safe and I was triggered by past trauma. And that past trauma that I thought that I dealt with and I thought that I healed from, when I was triggered by a certain instance, it all came up for me and my anxiety took on a life of its own. And I was recommended by a friend that I really need to go see a therapist for this particular issue that I thought I had healed from, years ago. I want to say it had to be over 20 years ago or something like that. I just thought that I had dealt with that. But when things happen, you'll really see areas where you need to hone in on in your trauma and your trauma responses. So when that situation happened for me, I went to go see a therapist, but I went to go see a different kind of therapist, somebody who specialized in trauma. I recognized that on the inside, I always lived in a constant state of not asking for help, taking it on. It's a lot for anybody to have to deal with and navigate. And that's why I encourage you, if you feel like something's off with you, to go seek help. It doesn't hurt to talk to anybody to even see what's going on with you if you feel like you're experiencing any of these kinds of. Getting that diagnosis didn't change who I was. It helped me to understand myself better. Because honestly, I always felt like on the outside, everything is together. So I'm presenting well, yes. And I'm the type of person that's not going to ask for no help because I'm going to figure it out. But that's honestly, the older I get, that is not the best way to live. Like, ask for the support that you need. And I'm getting better at being able to ask for the support that I need. But in order to ask for it, I needed to know what I needed. And you don't know what you need until you go through an experience to be like, oh, I actually need this. And it wasn't until I had a trigger event that I recognized, oh, I need this kind of help. And then I was able to ask for what I needed. And it honestly, because I shared my experience with someone else and they were able to help me identify and do research and be like, hey, sis, like, have you ever thought of XYZ? Or, hey, sis, I have this referral. You should go talk to this person, XYZ. And it's when we share our experiences with each other is where we get the real support versus trying to take on things by ourselves and not wanting to let people know that everything is not okay. We have to start sharing those things, and our mental health and well-being is nothing to play with. Getting that diagnosis didn't change who I was, and I had to keep telling myself that. It gave me permission to stop dismissing what I was feeling and actually start managing it. Therapy, faith, and self-awareness became tools instead of burdens. If any of this sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. You don't have to struggle in silence, and seeking support doesn't make you weak. In fact, it's one of the strongest things you can do for yourself. Ask me how I know, because it was one of the strongest things that I've had to do for myself. While faith and mindset shifts are powerful tools, sometimes anxiety requires additional support. If you feel like anxiety is interfering with your daily life, talk to a mental health professional. It can make a huge difference. Stop trying to do everything on your own. Stop trying to be the strong one all the time. You don't got to be strong no more. Get the help you need. Therapy isn't just for people with severe anxiety either. It's for anyone who wants to develop healthier thought patterns and coping strategies. A therapist can help you identify triggers and create a plan to manage them. Like my therapist did, she was able to help me identify my triggers and help me to create a plan. And then also professional support provides proven techniques to calm your nervous system. You honestly can't Google your way into everything or WebMD every diagnosis. And honestly, guys, therapy and faith can coexist. Seeking help doesn't mean you lack trust in God. If you're unsure whether your anxiety is something deeper, I encourage you to talk to a licensed professional. I cannot stress that enough. Stop trying to do it on your own. There's no shame in seeking help, only strength in taking control of your well-being. Heavy on the well-being. I want to leave you with this purposeful pause to consider. What's one small practice you can commit to today to shift from anxiety to trusting that God is in control, even when you don't feel like it, even when things feel uncertain? Maybe it's releasing a need for control and choosing surrender. Maybe it's practicing stillness instead of spiraling into overthinking. Maybe it's taking one step forward even when the outcome feels uncertain. Whatever it is, choose it today. You are strong by putting you first. Let this be the moment you remind yourself peace isn't found in knowing every detail. It's found in trusting that you are already equipped to handle what's ahead. All you have is all you need. Everything you have is already within you. Let anxiety know it doesn't get the final say, and neither do your past fears, your worst case scenarios, or the lies anxiety tries to whisper. And if you need something to hold on to, remember Philippians 4:6. You are not alone in this. I cannot stress that enough. Peace is already available to you. It's just waiting for you to lean into it. Thank you for listening to the Purpose to Create podcast. If you haven't yet, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and send this episode to a friend. Until next time, keep creating with purpose.